Greetings, everyone. My name is Professor Femi Olufunmilade. I'm Director, Center for Contemporary Security Affairs, Igbinedion University, Okada. My areas of research include political economy, particularly development issues, as well as security and defense. But for the present purpose, I will be talking to you about issues of development. The last video I recorded was one in which I was expressing my displeasure about the backwardness of the southwest states of Nigeria, where I come from. I come from Ogun State. But today, I am compelled to do this video because there were reactions that, okay, you've eloquently analyzed what the problem is, that the governors are not doing the right things. So what should be the right things to do? And I just want to hasten to tell you that the right thing to do is to have development plans. Development planning is the secret of rapid, accelerated development of backward societies or countries into advanced societies. It is the secret of China. I did my PhD on China, and apart from the thesis I wrote, I also produced this book titled China's Economic Miracle. This was published in 2015, and it's essentially an articulation of the things that China did that brought about such a fantastic accelerated development that some Western scholars describe it as a miracle. They talk of China's economic miracle. And that was how I titled that book, China's Economic Miracle. Do you know the secret of that miracle? There is no miracle. It's planning. When you have a development plan, scientific development planning, you are able to decide where you want to be in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, in the next 15 years. And that is what China has been doing. China started adopting the development planning mode of development strategies since it became a socialist country in 1949. But when it decided to review its ideological framework, it still stuck to development planning, scientific development planning. I'm talking of the time under Deng Xiaoping, whose picture you saw in that book, who assumed full power in China in 1978. He did not throw socialism away, but the core ingredient of socialism, that is, what I'm talking to you about, scientific planning. He adapted it to market economic framework. And before you know what is happening, China, that had 1.6 billion in foreign reserves in 1978, as at the last count, they had over $4 trillion. $4 trillion US dollars is the second largest economy in the world, is the largest trading nation in the world. It is the first in so many things. It lifted hundreds of millions of its citizens out of poverty within a short time. And it's set to become the first economy in the world. It is not about if, it's just about when. And that day is just around the corner. Because if you look at the current economic plans they have, it has set a date for the time they will become what they call a well-off society. A well-off society. That is a society in which virtually everybody is rich by every modern indices. So where are we? In Nigeria, the bane of our development is that we started with development planning about the time we got independence, first development plan, second development plan, third development plan. After third development plan, it's like we derailed. Most of the infrastructure you find in this country, some of the universities you call first generation, second generation universities, they were all items within those development plans that we had at the beginning. That was when we look enviable, and the world was, looking in our direction, because we were serious about where we were going economically, even though we were having setbacks in terms of civil war, in terms of military coup d'etat. But we were fortunate that every succeeding administration kept faith with the development planners at then. But since the 90s, that has not been the case. I want to put it to you that having a development plan is a commonsensical thing. You don't need to overstress it to accept it. For societies that have developed, that have evolved, and today they are developed, like the Western countries, they may not need anything called scientific development planning. They are already developed. They only ensure that the momentum of their advancement is not truncated by ensuring they put in place the right policies. But society that it appears they have not really started at all, it's like they have not taken off. They have not started the journey. For them to be able to catch up, they cannot afford to follow the evolutionary path of countries like Britain, of countries like United States. They need to take advantage of scientific development planning and be able to signpost where they will be in 5 years' time, where they will be in 10 years' time. Nothing stops a state in a situation where you have an unserious federal government from having a state development plan. Some of our states, they are bigger than Rwanda in terms of population and in terms of resource endowment. So why not? Oyo State, Ogun State, Kano State, Enugu State, Akwa Ibom State. If you have serious governors, if God has blessed you with serious governors, you can have state development plan. And this is how to go about it. You will assemble experts in the field of development planning. We have some of them locally. We have some of them who are in foreign universities. I can be of help, but I'm not here to advertise myself. But I know exactly how to put a team together. You can go as far as China to seek help. It is allowed. Because there's a Chinese saying that it is better for you to be taught how to fish than to be begging for fish. If a state has its development plan, it can be up to 10 years, it can be 15 years, it can be even 30 years. The House of Assembly of that state will be required to give it a legislative backing. The plan will be enforced as a law, but there will be clauses there that there could be room for adjustments in line with changing situations. Maybe projections are not aligning with a dynamic economic environment. You can realign your projections, but the basics of your plan will remain. What we have today is a situation where you have a governor come into office. He just threw aside whatever his predecessors was doing, and he starts other things. That's why you have abandoned projects there and here. That's why you discover that some policies that were started by a previous administration are abandoned by a succeeding administration. There is no country, no society, no state that is governed in that manner that will ever develop, that will ever move beyond. They will always be talking about when will they pay civil servants salary. Oh, he has not paid for the past 6 months. He's not doing anything because the resources, the human resources, the natural resources of that particular state are not being optimally harnessed. There is no state in Nigeria that should wait on the federal government to survive. No. But because people have stopped thinking, every end of the month, they go to Abuja to collect money from Niger Delta oil. Nobody is thinking at all anymore. Nobody. And since they cannot think, now that the Naira's value has gone down and the real value of the money they get from the federal allocation, it has also gone down, what do? They go are borrowing. They are now borrowing. They don't even care how they will be able to repay those loans. Why must we continue on this trajectory when the blessings and benefits of scientific planning, scientific development planning are there for us to pick? When you have a development plan, you can rest assured that you are saying farewell to poverty. You are saying farewell to backwardness. Because if it is properly done, that is what you will achieve. You will achieve sustainable development, sustainable prosperity. Your people will become well off. That is the goal in China. And I want to give you some of the things, how it is done. If I'm to conduct a development planning exercise in, let's say, Ogun State, or Oyo State, or Kogi State, what I will need to do is to first conduct a kind of resource survey of that state. What do they have? What are their primary farming products? Is it cassava? Is it millet? What about yam? What about cassava? What can we grow there that is not being grown there that can bring money? What about livestock? Oh, are they rearing goats? Or are they pastoralists? They have plenty of cattle. Those are the things that you will look for. In terms of the human resources, how educated are they? In what field? They are artisans. The people that have vocational skills. In what area? Is it in welding? Is it in agro-processing? What are the vocational skills the people have? Those are the things that will form the ingredients of the development plan you are going to, craft for that state. You must align it with the potentials that they have, especially the first stages of the development plan, maybe the 5-year stage. It's only at latter stages you can begin to talk of a development plan that may require some inputs from the external environment by way of maybe they are going to develop heavy industries. They will need steel ingots to, produce different type of steel materials. Then you need to import that because they don't have steel. That is something that will come much later. But at the rudimentary stage, you just keep your focus on things that are locally available, that they are the low-hanging fruits. And then the ways and means, how you are going to get money to execute the plan in agriculture, in education, in industry, in aquaculture, etc., will also be part of the plan. It's not just to just paint a rosy picture of what you want to do, and then the ways and means are not there. That is not going to be a good plan. And when you are going to craft a good plan, it must be bottom up. the local people, you need to interview them. You need to look at what are their challenges. If you discover that they are purely, a riverine community and transportation is part of their challenge, then marine transportation, developing it, maybe ship, boat construction and other will be part of what you will put into your in the industrial component of your plan, so that they will be able to move their goods, etc., in that environment. I'm just trying to give you a picture of how it is done. And then all the necessary stakeholders will be carried along. The politicians from all divides, civil servants, traditional rulers, religious rulers, youth, women group. You will be able to explain the plan to them in the language they understand, so that they can also flow with it, because they will have opportunities to harness in it. They will have sacrifices to make for it to become a reality. They will have to own it. Otherwise, if you just commission some experts and they craft some beautiful essays, these are the targets, these are the timelines, these are the deliverables, etc., and then the people are detached from all those castles you are building in the air. They will remain castles in the air. If you need my help, whether you're a state government or you are just an NGO that you want to help, you can contact me. My email is femiology@gmail.com. Femi, FEMIOLOGY@gmail.com. God bless you as you listen to this.